degree to which corporations surveil the American people without genuine consent and without real mechanisms for opting out should be illegal, point blank, period.
If you haven't seen this video from AOC about the raw truth of the TikTok ban, then this is your chance.
When they brought this ban up for a vote, number one, they said it's a national security issue, it's a national security issue. I said, okay, that's serious. Let's see the case. Let's see the intelligence. Let's see what's going on.
Before she gets to it, no. It was not a national security issue. It is not a national security issue. It's an ownership issue.
What was presented to all of the members voting on this thing was not very compelling. There was no real information that was given that was a smoking gun, that was anything specific. It was very vague, not convincing, and frankly, it was not convincing to many other members as well.
And now this is just me being nosy, but name names, AOC, because I want to know.
In fact, very high-ranking members on the House Foreign Affairs Committee came to me after the briefing, and they were very shocked and pretty surprised at the lack of substantive information in the briefing. They were genuinely expecting there to be some real or compelling intelligence shared, and there just wasn't. And they were surprised at the lack of information presented at it.
And we all know that it's not national security, because if it was, then the U.S. government will also ban Temu and Shein.
This bill, which is very large and substantive, like in terms of its impact, came to the Energy and Commerce Committee. It was marked up and it was brought to the floor like in a matter of, 1 or 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember, it was just a few weeks, which is very, very fast. Very.
And there's another truth we all knew. Isn't it convenient that a lot of members that voted to ban TikTok also have stocks and investments in competitor companies like Meta and Google? Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, might I add. So for lawmakers, it's no wonder they rushed this thing through so quickly.
And so many of us naturally said, the answer is not just playing endless whack-a-mole with apps. The answer is that we should have real privacy legislation in the United States, and we should help people own their information and have greater agency over their personal information so that they're not being spied on all the time, whether it's a domestic company or a foreign company.
And this is also spot on, because America seems to foster this double standard of buying and selling our sensitive consumer information when it comes to apps owned by a foreign country compared to if it's an American domestic owned and operated company.
So we need to actually have privacy laws in the United States, to which, of course, big tech is going to fight against, and their lobbies are going to fight against. So they just target an app instead of targeting the problem.
And Representative Ro Khanna, who, might I add, actually jumped in my live stream a couple days ago, made this point so eloquently, saying, 71% of Americans want to protect data privacy, but only 31% want a ban on TikTok. If the concerns are data privacy, pass a law to prevent these apps, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, to collect that data. That bill has been sitting in the House Commerce Committee for years, and it doesn't move.
And then lastly, when this thing was passed, all these legislators were like, who supported it, were like, oh, it's not a ban, it's just a forced sale. First of all, they provided very little time for that to happen. For an app that big, like who's going to buy TikTok? Hello? Like, it's very large. After leaving no time for a forced sale,